point, and now you can say hello.
Oh,
You
you too.
Wait, Matt.
We did it.
Matt's here. Matt's in
Hi,
the
Matt.
Podbean.
Hello.
We're getting going. Happy Cinco de Mayo, friends.
We did it.
Yay.
Oh,
Cinco.
Val says she has to speak for her Tennesseans and say not all of us. Listen, I'm a Tennessean my whole life. It's most of us.
Yeah.
Okay? No, it's true.
Sometimes whenever I talk to my mom, I'm like, man, how did I get away from that deep of an accent?
That's us and our whole family. New York accents. Whew.
Whatever.
They still come out.
I heard when you guys all got together, it was ridiculous.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It's bad.
Christmas episode.
I think that's the first time I really realized my accent was going away when I lived in Orlando, is when I would talk to family and be like, why do you sound like this? Why? Is this what I sound like?
Well, I guess for me, I kind of always had an ear for the Southern accent because I had a split family. My dad was a Northerner. My mom was a Southerner. So, I could hear both in my house, which is why I've still got a Southern accent, but it's a little more gentle.
It's not gentle.
It's a little more gentle.
It's not.
Are you kidding? I have a thick accent.
It's thick and hot.
Tell me who I sound like.
Your mom.
No, she's way worse than me.
It's funny because Justin, whenever we started dating,
Yeah. See, Matt says I have a subtle accent. Thank you, Matt.
Me too. Justin, when we started dating, he was like, "Oh no, I don't have a very thick Southern accent." And he was like, well, "You don't either." And I said, "Well, I've taught myself. I teach myself living in Northern Virginia not to have a really strong accent because people used to always ask me where I was from." And he said, "No, you never had one." And then he talked to my mom and she was like, "Hey guys, how y'all doing? We're just going to go hang out over here. And if you want to bring over some dinner, we'll just have some supper together." And he was like, "You never sound like that in high school."
I don't think you
weren't
did.
even friends in high school. No.
Were you guys in the same classes at all? Like, did you have to get up and do a presentation?
I don't think we
were never even in a class together.
Really, I mean, honestly, the most time we ever spent together was our 8th grade trip when we went to DC. We hung out together quite a bit, but in high school, I didn't see her in school.
No.
Most of the time.
And so he knew what my accent was, by the way.
I still spoke to you.
8th grade Sam.
No, in high school. No, I spoke to her too.
Not much.
What was the rate that you were cutting classes in high school?
High rate.
All of them.
Which classes did I go to or cut? What's the question?
Is lunch a class? I always attended.
Yeah.
Lunch?
No, I was busy doing other things.
Yeah, absolutely. Justin, did you ever cut any class?
I did, but I don't know if I should share why.
Do it.
Do it.
Yes.
Do it.
Well, okay. I mean, there were a couple that I skipped in high school, and it was because my friends and we had these a game that we would play that was contraband in high school.
Oh.
Magic the Gathering was not allowed. It was strictly forbidden.
Jesus didn't approve of magic.
So we would sneak into the auditorium and we would play Magic. And I cut a few classes to play Magic. That's my lame story.
All right.
I was such a cool guy in high school.
That's why I cut class too.
No,
yeah. That's why Sam was doing it. She was setting the game up.
No, she was not in my magic circle, I can tell you that. She was not conjuring demons with me. That was just me and my nerdy friends.
And now they confess that, you can see why there was an issue in our school. We grew up in a very Christian town.
That's true.
Right. That's true. Frank, did you cut classes?
No, I think towards the end of my senior year, I stopped going to gym. I think
Same. I didn't know that.
Was really it. Yeah, I think at some point, like, there was some kind of like silent conversation that the gym teacher was like, "You don't have to come here anymore." Like, focus here all the time, by the way. And I was like, "I'm back. Bye."
Could you all leave during lunch?
Yeah.
Okay, we couldn't.
Yeah. No, we could.
Well,
if you didn't get caught.
Right.
If you wanted to burn in hell.
I could also leave. So second period, I had gym, and then every other day was study hall, which is like joke. Second period, study hall, get me out of here. And that's when I drove to Dunkin' Donuts in my Corolla, and then got hit as I was making a turn. I was like turning onto the side street where Dunkin' Donuts was, and someone hit me. I didn't know someone hit me. I was like, what was that, a pothole? Because they didn't stop. And I was like, oh. And then I parked, and someone comes out of their house. I was like, oh my God, are you guys okay? Because I was with my friend. And I was like, yeah, why? They're like, that car just hit you, and he just kept going. I'm like, he hit me? What? And the back of my car was just blue. And so, like, of course, I go home. Frank's home, and I'm like, oh my God, Dad's gonna kill me. And like, basically, you could just wipe it all off, and there was just like a little scratch. And I was like, okay, yeah. But then I started. The same friend that was in the car with me, Linda. We were such goody goodies, and yet like these things are happening to us in senior year. But we were in a class with all juniors in gym, and we were like, what is this? This is our senior year, and we're with all these juniors. And we just slowly, like, first marking period, we cut like one. So we're like, oh, no one said anything. Okay. And by the third marking period, we were never going. Her locker was right outside the gym. The head of the department was our gym teacher. He would come up to us, and we're like, oh God, this is it. This is it. This is good. He's like, hey guys, have a good weekend. We're like, yeah. Okay. Probably won't see you later. Okay. Bye. Yeah. That was my big claim to fame.
So Jim was like, this seems like it might have been kind of just an unspoken senior thing. Like,
yeah, I guess so.
Seniors, you're good. You don't need it. You've learned all the physical education you need at this point.
I think he failed me. No, he like did like the chest, was it 65 is chest passing? I think that's when I got the last marking period. It was like 90, 90, 90. Wait a second, you haven't been here all year. 65.
So Matt said that he couldn't leave. They had a closed campus at his high school. And then Lewis said he never skipped a class or left for lunch in high school, but he skipped every class except for 2 or 3 in some math classes in college. Yeah, you get into college, the wheels just come off.
Yeah.
You guys have such cute stories.
Aren't we adorable? Justin's playing magic games. We're cutting gym. Sam, what were you doing? You didn't really say what you were doing during your time.
Don't need to get into it. No, you want to hear, here's some really naughty tale. This is what was going on the second semester of my senior year.
Look at Sam's face like, wait, what story are you about to tell right now?
I know what you're going to tell. It's like one of our very few interactions, I think. Are you telling that?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Okay.
Oh, I do know what you're talking about. I do know that, and that's not what I was going to say. But now people are interested. People want to know this, and I might have to tell it in a minute.
No, you don't have
to. Second semester, we were on block schedule, so we only had 4 classes all day. And so I was, as I have famously said, I was a choir boy in high school. So my 4th period was always choir. Well, senior year, I decided to, like, my choir teacher was like, hey, I had a freshman class as my first period. And I was like, I don't want to be in there. She was like, do you want to just join men's ensemble? So I was like, oh yeah, sure, I'll do that. That was first period. So it was men's ensemble. My second period was drama, which was in the auditorium. And then third period, I can't even remember what it started as, but I convinced the teacher to my course teacher just sign me up for women's ensemble. So my whole day was in the auditorium all day. And so I actually spent most of my day not at school because
his teacher had a crush on him.
No, come on.
We know who you are, Miss Burkhardt.
Our drama, I can't say drama teacher. The drama.
Are you from Long Island? Are you saying drama?
Teacher didn't really care. Like about halfway through, she kind of like, I don't know, she just signed off herself. So she didn't care if we were doing anything. So like from there, lunch, and then women's ensemble, which obviously I didn't need to attend, I'd be missing for long portions of the school day.
I'm sure.
Yeah, it was pretty good. But because of that, they gave me like 1 less credit on my transcript because I had too many arts credits.
They're like, you're supposed to be taking other classes.
Yeah, I was like, no, I don't need to. I'm good. Yeah.
Our buddy Jeff's over in the YouTube comments here, and he was like, couldn't leave. We were walking home for lunch all through elementary school, which I did. We would go out to lunch during elementary school too. Was Shots open when you were in?
Oh, yeah. Oh, my God. They just posted a picture of that in the little group on Facebook. Shots.
Shots.
Which is a funny name for a convenience store.
We're doing shots in elementary school, line them up in between classes. Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah, it was called Shots. It was like 2 blocks from the elementary school. And it was basically like a mini deli bodega thing on the lower level of somebody's house. I don't know how that came to be or how people got away with that over time, but it was a strange situation.
That is odd.
But I don't think anyone left. You didn't leave during lunch to go to Shots. Probably after school. During lunch? Who was that?
You get in. Mom wrote a letter and said I could.
Mom was taking you out for lunch.
You should have just asked. You probably would have gotten it.
Hold on.
We had a little. We had a gas station right down the road from our high school called White Star Market.
I thought you were going to talk about Chriso's.
Chriso's was good too, but White Star was walking distance.
It's true. It was.
Yeah. We could walk down there. People would walk and go buy cigarettes because they were bad kids.
No, you had to drive down a little further because everyone knew me at White Star because my mom worked there. So, yeah.
Well,
I was like, because, okay.
We made the banana pudding at our gas station. Thank you very much.
They made delicious steamed sandwiches at the White Star Market.
For real.
Yeah, they were very, very good. And you could get tamales. You could get a full house, like a chili with tamale in there. It was good stuff. So, hey, and that kind of segues us into Cinco de Mayo. We got the 3 caballeros right here with
us. We have no music. We should have had music.
Should we sing?
Oh, I shouldn't.
Matt says it's called banana pudding.
No, it's nanner.
It's nanner pudding, Matt. Nanner pudding. And actually, Sam makes delicious nanner pudding.
That's because I make the pudding that they sold at the gas station.
Well, she knows the White Star secret.
It was good.
Streamed hams? No, not streamed hams, Lewis. Steamed sandwiches.
Steamed sandwiches.
Steamed hoagies. They were hoagies.
Can I go back a bit because I'm talking to Mama Dillo about why she was playing favorites. She wants to know how old you were during this time.
I was 5th and 6th grade.
5th and 6th grade. Mm-hmm.
I like this.
I don't think I forged a note. Let's keep that in mind.
Can we get Mama Dillo to call in?
I know. Oh, God. I would have to walk her through that. I could probably put her on speakerphone. Maybe we should. I took him to the movies during kindergarten all the time.
Oh, that's too. Yeah. Oh, I saw The Empire Strikes Back like 30 times in kindergarten.
During school?
Well, I think kindergarten was half a day. So she either pulled me out early or...
That's true.
Depending on the time of the movie, I think.
Jen,
out in Massapequa.
Obviously,
magical place.
A magical place. She's writing some more, so I'm just waiting to see what else she says.
What other stuff she allowed Frank to do that you?
Yeah, exactly.
I can't wait.
Well, we were discussing because maybe I don't know if I want to touch on this subject. It is Cinco de Mayo, but Jen, we were watching This Is Us over the weekend, and it was the blow up episode about who was the favorite amongst the children. And so Mrs. Dillo asked if you were the favorite, and I was like, no, I was the favorite.
Yeah.
I was shocked by that.
Yeah, that's correct, Mrs. Dillo. Side note, when are you finding your soul? Because you keep watching This Is Us and you haven't shed one tear. You have no soul.
No soul.
Listen, I think I have coronavirus when I watch it because my whole body is so tense. I feel myself burning.
Because it's unhealthy what you're doing to yourself. You have to let your emotions out.
I can't cry for 43 minutes straight every episode.
Yes, you can. That's what I do every week. I've been doing it for how many seasons?
In fairness, Frank, you guys live in the epicenter of coronavirus, so there's like a 70% chance you do have
it. Probably isn't. Yeah, he already had it in December, I think. Remember when he couldn't talk in any of those shows?
Oh, yeah, you probably already had it.
Yeah. Okay, so Mama Cardillo, I said our whole name, Mama Dillo. as if we don't say our full name. I think he went there on his own, right? Instead of coming home for lunch. Why are you going home for lunch? It's 5th and 6th grade.
No, she wrote a note. That said it was okay for me to leave. I didn't sneak out.
Jen, if it makes you feel better, whenever I was younger, I was definitely not the favorite because I was the headstrong. Mama can't tell me what to do. Daddy can't tell me what to do. And even if I got in trouble, I will still defy everything you ask me to do kind of person. Right. And I'm definitely the favorite because I'm way cooler than my brothers and sisters.
Interesting. I don't know why I wasn't the favorite. I think it's because they had 7.5 years with him. That's a long time with one kid.
Long time to build a bond.
I mean, that's a big,
you just came along and it was like, what are you doing here?
All right, I guess. Sure. Just let's go.
I was the favorite in my house.
You were?
It's actually still pretty clear.
Oh, and I was my grandmother's favorite, and she would tell everybody.
She hated me.
Like, she had a lot more grandchildren than just my brother and sister, and they all knew I was the favorite.
Yeah. She actually told me whenever
I earned it.
Whenever I was getting married to him, she was like, by the way, that's my favorite right there.
Don't screw it up. She said if I went to shots, maybe it was once, or maybe they had baseball cards or something.
She ever went to shots? She didn't go to shots with me. I just went with my friends.
Yeah, why would you have to be escorted to shots as a 10-year-old?
I feel like if I went to shots, I would be disappointed because there would be 10-year-olds everywhere.
If you went in the middle of the day.
There was
they had the juices that were look like grenades, with the top, the little plastic.
The little candy cigarettes.
35 cents for those juices.
Yeah.
100 roll, 50 cents. I had $1.10 lunch. Papa Dillo gave me $1.10 for lunch every day.
Oh, man. Remember when lunch was $1.10? No, I don't either. Old
man.
She said, I wrote a note. That's funny. You were around, so maybe you wanted to see him. Nah, I don't think that's it.
There was no involvement.
There was no involvement. We were not involved in this process at all.
I had good grades. She wrote a note. That was it.
We're gonna follow up with this. I don't want to take up everyone's night with this back and forth Facebook message I have going on right now.
Delving into the past of will they remain?
Cinco de Mayo, guys.
Yeah, exactly. What's everyone drinking for Cinco de Mayo? Frank, what are you drinking?
American Summer, all from Samuel Adams.
You're not supposed to say what it really was.
Yeah, I know. In a Christmas glass.
Where's Sam?
A Christmas glass.
We're gonna do a Cinco de Mayo clinky.
Clink. Oh, busy libraries. Clink.
Yeah.
Me, Justin, and Sam can clink our Dos Equis.
And, Matt's having pink lemonade. Hey, pink lemonade's delicious. Let me tell you about my trip to Cancun. No matter where you went, all you could drink was Dos Equis or tequila. Those were the options in Cancun.
I don't drink tequila. So tequila is not my friend. We don't get along. And then whenever I drink it, I don't get along with anyone else.
Well, maybe I should point out on this trip, by the way, I was not of age. I think I may have been 18 on this trip, but they weren't carding people. They had the squeeze bottles of the tequila. No matter where you went, they were squirting tequila in people's mouths.
Yeah.
It was insanity down there.
I miss Mexico.
But it was a good time.
Should we introduce the name of the show now?
Oh, let's do it. Yeah, let's start.
What is it?
Do it, Frank. Start the show.
Oh, hey, everybody. This is the Parks and Monorails Most Magical Hour Live. Welcome aboard.
Hi.
For our 20-minute pre-show, it's Cinco de Mayo. And we're here. My first question for Justin, because I know he's such an Epcot 82 guy, is whether he approves of the three caballeros as seen in the background of his video here, or does he miss El Rio de Tempo more?
So actually, I 100% approve of the three caballeros, and there's a couple of reasons. One is I feel like I've actually gained even a more like a larger appreciation for it in the recent years because, number one, I learned that these characters right here, as seen on the Three Caballeros Grand Fiesta Tour, actually came from the Mickey Mouse Revue that was in the Magic Kingdom. And so these are like classic animatronics that Disney saved. So I love that. So that's one thing. Another is what we've learned after watching Three Caballeros, especially recently, is that the ride is actually pretty
fine.
It's pretty well. It's pretty true to the movie. Like it's pretty true to the show. There's a lot of like what goes on in that. You see that in the ride. That's pretty cool, and that's a classic Disney movie. So, I think it is. I think it's a celebration of Mexico. Still, I do like. I really love the scene where you go in and it's almost like a mini Small World where they've got like all the little animatronics doing the celebration. It's like the Dia de los Muertos part. And I think if I remember right, I'm pretty sure that's kind of a holdover, right? Didn't they have that?
Yeah, I wanted to do like a side by side, like watch Oreo and then watch it's the McKenna check-in.
Yeah, McKenna's going to bed already, 10 minutes early.
Oh.
But I mean,
yeah, I think there's a lot of holdover for sure.
Yeah, I think so. So, Lewis is asking, is it true to Mexico? It's a fantasy version, but it's a celebration of Mexican culture is what I feel like it is. And good night, McKenna. Happy Cinco de Mayo. And Jen's giving you a hug. She said, thanks, Jen.
Every week, McKenna, I'll be here every week.
So anyway, I'm long-winded as always, but yes, I do like the Grand Fiesta Tour. I don't feel like it was doing any harm to do the overlay of the Three Caballeros. I like it.
No, Jen, this is a change we approve of, no?
Yes, we approve of this change. Mark it in your books.
Everyone. Hey,
Dillos approve of this change.
Oh, we got a little spider. No, Three Caballeros.
Oh.
I just killed a tiny little spider.
Oh.
No, and I know some of you monorails are not a fan of how Nemo is incorporated into the living seas, but those kind of came around at the same time, and I was okay with both of them.
I don't need Nemo. I'm a huge fan of Sea Base Alpha. I want the hydrolators back. I loved all of what it used to be, and you could spruce that up. What I like is that recently I feel like that they've done more to bring back the sea base feel in the aquarium area, and so I like that. But aside from some of the weird things of the little Nemo ride into the aquarium, that ride is pretty worthless. So, and usually it stops and we get stuck on it in the bubble tunnel that makes us nauseous like every time. But yes, Grand Fiesta Tour is good. I'm on board.
Cool. Oh, we're just all looking at each other now.
It was a weird. I was like,
the next question.
I will chime in on this. I have no nostalgia on whatever was before any of these things.
El Rio del Tiempo.
Okay, whatever that is. And that would be totally cool if Coco hit up that area and made it better.
Okay, so
and made it better.
By the way, you can see Donald Duck's gears almost.
Whoa, I didn't know where we were going with that one.
He's a robot.
He is a robot.
He is doing his robot moves, and I see his gears, and I'm like, no, dude, you need some refurb.
Need some extra feathers.
Yeah.
Every time you do that, you make me not hear anything. So the question was asked by Matt in the chat. Do we think the ride should be given a Coco overlay? Sam is fine with it.
Yes.
I would prefer they not do it, but I think it's inevitable. I think it's going to happen.
I like Coco.
I like Coco too,
cry.
but I don't think I'll be sad that the Three Caballeros get wiped away.
No, they'll still be around on merch.
Oh yeah, it's hard. I don't know. I mean, yeah, because I like how it is now, but I could see they would have to do another blend. I feel like they can incorporate Coco, but still maintain the spirit of the attraction. I think I'd be all right with that. I feel like there's room to do a little Coco somewhere else. So.
Do a little Coco.
Didn't they kind of start the Coco in the front when you first walk in? Yeah.
As soon as you go in there, they've still got the Coco Dia de los Muertos. And they had they were doing the mariachi show too, the Cobra mariachi, where they had the little Coco puppet that would come out. And I wish they would keep that forever. I don't know why that has to go. Or only be seasonal or whatever they're doing with it.
Yeah.
I don't want like spoilers for all your future episodes since you're going on the World Showcase right now. But a couple of weeks ago, I posted like most people say like Mexico or Japan is like their two favorite pavilions. Would you say it's one of those two, or are there others above? You know, I didn't really get a lot of bounce back on that. So I felt like people, Mexico and Japan are our favorites.
What do you think, Sam?
No. I really like Japan.
No.
I don't think Mexico is one of my favorites.
What's your favorite pavilion?
My favorite pavilion.
Spoilers. We're going to be talking about this on the actual Monday morning monorail, but that's okay. Go ahead.
I do think it's probably Japan because of Michikoshi. I love that store. And I'm a huge like Studio Ghibli fan. I love all the Spirited Away, Totoro, Howl's Moving Castle, all that stuff. So so that's hard because that's probably my favorite. But I would say Morocco's right up there.
Mm-hmm.
I really love Morocco, and I love Moroccan food. And Spice Road Table is really, really good. And I really like the Germany and Italy pavilions better than I do Mexico.
Really?
Yeah.
Germany and Italy.
Yeah, both over it.
Well, and Sam, you being more the food connoisseur here amongst us, I feel like Mexico would not be as high for you.
Yeah. Well, that's true. If you're putting a lot of weight on the food.
Well, that's kind of where I'm going because in Italy I like the drinks better. So
she's not a tequila drinker. La Cava is like a huge plus for most people.
I can't do La Cava. Like they had for a little while a cocktail that had moonshine, and I could drink that, but it's gone now. And I like tequila is not my drink. If someone said you either can never have alcohol again or only drink tequila, I'd be like, well, I guess I'm just never going to drink alcohol again. It's that bad.
That's a big statement.
Yeah.
Yeah, for me, I think Japan's my number one pavilion. I love Japan. I'm going to miss those drummers. They better be back when all this is over with.
Mm-hmm.
But I do love Mitsukoshi. I love the like just the architecture and the water feature in that area. We loved Tokyo dining.
Yeah.
That was so good.
The food is amazing there.
Yeah. It's very, very good. But Mexico would probably be my number two. And I love the inside of that pavilion. It's just so. What about you all? I mean, are Mexico and Japan up there?
Yeah. John, you want me to answer first of all? Do you think and contemplate making a choice?
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think Japan would probably be my number one. I think Mexico's up there. I'm just I don't know where I place it, but I feel like it's up there. And I don't know why. I think it maybe is the whole experience of being in there, like you said, with the ride that draws me to it, because there is some sort of draw, and I can't really figure out a Dillo draw or a nostalgic draw exactly, but yet there seems to be something there that pulls me to it. But I think Japan would be my number one.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Yeah, I mean, I always put Mexico high. I think primarily because of the ambiance and in the interior of the temple. Because I also feel like I've had it's be a weird thing to say, but I feel like all the Mexican food I've had in my life has been inconsistent. I've had great Mexican food and I have had mediocre, and it goes back and forth and back and forth. So I never really hold the food in high regard when I go to any Mexican restaurant. I like chips and salsa, and I'm going to start drinking, and my entree, I don't know, I'll be somewhere else. So I never really think, I mean, it's not great, obviously, but it is what it is. But I love eating in that restaurant because I love the ambiance.
Yeah, I definitely say, like, for people who want to eat there, I totally get it because it is a very cool place to hang out. But I think that you tell them when you check in that you're willing to wait to be able to sit by the water and see the boats, because you're not going to be blown away by the food. Just bottom line.
Yeah.
It's just fine.
Mm-hmm.
I think because I love Mexico so much, I then have not given them as much love to other pavilions. I know, like, I haven't done like nooks and crannies in China. I mean, I said a couple weeks ago that when I did the restrooms in Norway closer to the Anna and Elsa greeting, like, I had never been in there before until last summer. I was like, I had no idea what was over here at all. And I think that just happens because I end up spending more time in the places I really like rather than exploring a little more than I should.
Yeah, there's a lot to see.
Have you been across the way to the La Hacienda?
We have.
No.
I've heard it's good though.
Yeah, I did. No, and I liked the food. I don't know if it wasn't like, oh, that's the best Mexican food, but the food was good. And but I think what sells you on that side is the water and the views over there. So there's a view in each restaurant that kind of pulls you of like, ooh, it's so pretty here. Whatever, I don't care what I'm eating.
Val said the counter service in Mexico drives her crazy because they always have to fight with birds for food for the food off the plate.
Yeah,
that's hilarious because it's right there by the water. So the seagulls are pretty bold in World Showcase.
No kidding.
Garrett's had to fight some seagulls, like fist fight them to get them off his plate. Which is
video.
He's a bird lover.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, I'm thinking about it, and even Norway rates higher for me than Mexico.
You got all of them.
Yeah,
are we missing any at this point?
Above Mexico.
American Adventure, the barbecue puts American Adventure over Mexico.
It's true. I mean,
she'll never go see that show, The American Adventure, but Regal Eagle puts it way up there.
I want to go watch our history. I already had to hear it from my dad when he'd get on his soapbox about how America is great.
Yeah, and Canada too.
Okay, Matt, white guy.
Canada over Mexico? Canada over Mexico?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. I mean, I like the atmosphere of Mexico, but I'm a foodie and I don't think their food is that good. I actually have been to really great Mexican restaurants, and I just don't think that Epcot has a good Mexican restaurant.
Yeah. No, well, I would agree. I think it's passable. But
I think they know they're getting by on the ambiance.
It's exactly right. I was thinking about like when you go in the Mexican pavilion, you've got two things going for it. You can smell, because the Mexican food smells good. It smells good regardless of the taste. It smells good, and you've got the smell of a water ride, which is a classic.
That's what I was thinking. After I was like, oh, I think it's the smells.
It is.
I think that's what it is.
Yeah.
I have to say something.
No, you're not allowed.
Because
you're cut off.
Matt just said Canada doesn't really have anything other than Le Cellier.
That's what he said.
And Matt, you need to walk back there and see that waterfall. It is beautiful. And that spray cools you down when it's really hot. And they have really great bands that play. So, wrong.
Incorrect.
You're incorrect. I know Jeff is, I think, watching live if he's one of the two. That's staying consistent. So Jeff, I want to hear your ranking and whoever else the other person is watching.
Yeah, and we are, we're getting a lot of love for Morocco in the pod chat here. People loving the smells, loving the look. Morocco is strong, and it's very, like Garrett loves to say, he gets lost in there because it winds around like a real market. It's so cool.
Yeah.
Unpopular opinion. So I love Morocco, but I really wish that we could put like more like another Middle Eastern country in there in the World Showcase, because the food is fantastic. It's so fragrant and really good, and it's all like cooked over coals, and that's how meat's meant to be cooked, people.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. When we did the Segway tour, which we talked about recently on Theme Park Thursday, we went through Morocco because it is such kind of like a winding path, and you can kind of create a little obstacle course with it and all of it. And I think that was probably the most time I had ever spent in Morocco doing that tour, like just driving the Segway through it. Did we ever eat there?
I have eaten there. I don't think no.
Like all of us? No. I didn't think so.
No.
But but I don't think I've done it. So I need to go try out.
And I feel like I've only done the main restaurant show a long time ago. Yeah. And I just remember like it was like so great that I kind of just wanted to like to bottle it and not do it again. Like I was like, I really enjoyed this. I'm going to keep this memory, and I kind of just put it to the side.
We had a great experience at Marrakesh.
Yeah.
We loved that place. And Spice Road Table is amazing. And the quick service that I can't think of the name of, but both Matt and Lewis are saying the quick service in Morocco is really good. But yeah, like 3 for 3 on food options. They're all good in Morocco.
But I will say, I think Spice Road Table like beats out Marrakesh. Marrakesh is good. It's so good. Don't get me wrong. But Spice Road Table has these spiced lamb chops. It's like you pick it up like a lollipop and you eat it off of the bone, and it's amazing. And you look gross, but it's really good.
The imagery of picking a lamb chop up like a lollipop. Like, why not say like a turkey leg or like a lollipop?
No.
Long Island Frank
they call them. They like there are recipes where it's like a lamb lollipop. That's why I said that.
Long Island Frank said he's looking for an earpiece. Apparently, he's got things to say to us. So,
Long Island Frank, I'm so excited.
Yeah, he's probably got some opinions.
Long Island Frank, by the way, has given me some info about where to go shopping around here for some essentials, and I really appreciate that. Long Island
Toilet paper,
Mm-hmm.
Clorox wipes.
Mm-hmm.
Matt said he's thinking about calling in too. And that makes me remember that we do have another big topic we need to get to.
Wait, all these people can call in. We're talking about food. People call us.
Well, let's set up this next thing too, and then if people want to call and talk about this, they can do it. So we got a message today from Dr. Pam Heimel. Disney.
We mean us specifically.
We did.
Got a
Yes, to our PO box.
Yeah, she sent me a telegram.
Yeah.
The Disney Parks Chief Medical Officer, and basically giving us a little bit of a peek behind the scenes of what they're discussing and some of the things that are being considered as we start to look towards opening up the Walt Disney World Resort once again. And this is on the heels of the fact that the phased reopening of Shanghai Disneyland is imminent. May 11th is when they're kicking that off, which is wild to me.
My inner self is going, okay, have fun with that. While y'all get sick, I'll just stay home. But then I'm also going, maybe I'm gonna go.
Am I hopping on a plane? I don't think I can, but
so I'll just give you the bullets really quick, and then we can kind of talk this through. So the first one is phased reopening. She says, we're looking at all of our locations and how best to begin the reopening process, including a gradual reopening and or partial reopening of certain locations. For example, the opening of retail and dining prior to the theme parks. Number 2, physical distancing and capacity measures. Basically just saying that one of the things they're going to have to figure out is how you load the rides. How do you use the ride vehicles? What do you do about hotels, transportation, all of that stuff? And then do you do like a 25% capacity in the parks? Do you do 50? What do you do?
Just stick all those idiots in one cart and let's see what happens.
And by May 11th, they're figuring this out?
No, this is like looking towards what they're going to do at Walt Disney. Okay. But I mean, it's going to have to be figured out for Shanghai as well.
Y'all, I'm going to be stuck in a cart with a lot of people because I just said that out loud.
Yeah, I think Number 3, cleanliness and sanitization. We're planning increased cleaning and disinfection, determining where that should take place and the cleaning products and processes we'll use. 4 is screening and prevention. They're going to be doing temperature checks, and apparently, like the big debate is, are masks going to be like a requirement? I'm sure cast members will be wearing them. Are they going to be strongly suggested? Like how they're going to handle that, and then like the hand sanitizing stations, hand washing, and all that that's already been in place. And then the last thing, cast training, which I think is a huge thing because they got to get all those people back ramped up and trained on all the new processes. And that's a lot of people to mobilize and get on board. So I don't know, I don't know that this was anything we hadn't already talked about, but I think what it does is just confirm to us that Disney's like looking at like, we're going to try to open up sooner than later. And these are the things we're figuring out.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, and the phases are, I mean, what'll be interesting is that everything will be different when people define phases. Everyone's phases are going to be different. Like New York City has 4 different phases right now with the arts and entertainment phase 4, which is very far away. And the and in my real life, we've been looking at.
Isn't this real life?
This is real life. And auditorium seating, been discussing a lot, and so that's been making me think in this realm of you're not going to see Muppets, you're not going to see Filler Magic, you're not going to see stage shows probably for a little while. Maybe the bleacher seating, like maybe you get the 6 foot markers, maybe on a bleacher situation, like if you're seeing Rivers of the first one that popped up. But
that.
Yeah, nobody's. Well, that's what I'm saying. They'll have the room to social distance. So, I'm like, so what's the phases for Disney? Because I don't think you can include those kind of shows right away. I think you got to rightfully so, because it's the meal ticket of the attractions being, the most important focus first. I think they got different phases in terms of entertainment.
Yeah.
One, your voice is sounding very robotic, and 2, I just wanted to go. I didn't do it. I'm just letting you know.
Yeah.
I also wanted to go to Jeff in the chat here because 1, I did ask him to rank the countries, and he says Mexico, Japan, Norway, top 3 for him.
Very strong.
He's also saying he doesn't understand how they get people to 1. Into the park, and 2, queue them up before the park opening because some are going to be there at 3 a.m. on day 1.
Yeah,
which
true.
Yeah.
It's true. Yeah, it's a really good question. And Val asked the question in the Podbean chat. She can't wrap her mind around how they're going to determine capacity. Like, how do they choose who attends? So it's almost like that whole, like Jeff is saying, the whole rise of the resistance mentality. Oh, you're telling me there's going to be a limited amount of people that are in the door. I'm going to get there at 2 a.m. because I want to be in there. Like, the parks are going to be at capacity before they open. Like, it's going to be like crazy, I think. Matt says on a normal day, we're about 50% capacity. What is a normal day anymore? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But like
February 4th. I don't know. What day is that? When is that?
But like I think they got to go like 25%, and I don't think so. I'm not going to take credit for this idea because I know other people have said it too. But I don't think you open Epcot. Like, why? Why would you?
Because Le Cellier is there.
Well, Le Cellier is there, but the thing is, there's so much work to be done there. It's only half a park right now as it is. Why not just keep it closed until they get all the work done and then do a big unveiling? Like, that would be pretty cool, actually. They know, like, they're in unusual circumstances as it is. So why not just take the opportunity to be like, let's just get Epcot done? Like, so.
Yeah, I think that's definitely possible because it was one of the This and That guys talked about it last week about the similar situation, which made me think, oh, maybe they would just have the World Showcase open for dinners and reservations and stuff like that rather than so they just have a reservation-based system for revenue generating in Epcot. We're opening the we're open. It would just be, you want to eat at a restaurant and spend money? Come on in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can see that situation also.
Where's your Yeti mic?
No, why? Am I still robotic?
Yes.
It sounds like you're holding like a weed eater or something. It's like
we're talking.
Like chainsaw maybe. So Matt says a rough estimate for Epcot.
He left. That's it. He's out. That's it.
100% capacity at Epcot is 90,000. A normal day, he says, is about 40K. So around the 50% mark. And New Year's Eve too, divided by 2. Yeah, that makes sense, I guess.
Yeah.
I see what he's saying. For like 45K is still way too many people to be in the park right now.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
It's got to be more like 20, I think.
Okay.
And that's Epcot. That's the big one.
I'm going to get in line for that. I'm going to be the first 20.
No, you don't. You don't want to do that.
See, this is the problem. This is why they shouldn't do these things, because I have an issue. I'm going to be there.
Unless they do it, I don't even know how they do this and if they would even do it, but to make it a reservation base, you're making a reservation to go to the parks.
Right.
And then as you're coming through the gate, they check your reservation for that in order to even come through so that they don't have those big crowds
Yeah.
just sitting. I don't know.
It's going to be crazy because they're going to be temperature checking. And for people who like get a high rating, they're going to do like a manual check, right? So they'll have like they'll do forehead scans, and then they'll have like a thermometer that you have to take if you have a high reading.
I would be like, it's hot outside.
Well, right. Well, that's the thing. I mean, that's so true too. But I guess what they're doing is like they're going to do a reading. If you read high, they give you like 20 minutes to cool off, I guess. And then do another reading. But all these people that are lined up before the park opens, are they going to have markers telling people where to stand, like when they're lined up at 3 a.m.?
Probably.
Right.
Because they're going to have to figure that out. And then the thing I'm still having trouble thinking about is, how do you sanitize something like Peter Pan's flight? Like if you're running that, like what do you do? Like do you send people on it, and then when it comes back, you put 2 cast members on that particular thing so they can rub it down while it goes back through? Like I don't know.
I know
how. Like the lines, even if
Can't
they.
hear you.
Oh, there it is. I think we did it.
Oh, now we can.
Am I back on or
Yes.
no?
Yes.
It does sound really
I don't trust the Yeti mic on the laptop that I currently work on, which is why I don't go to it too often.
Oh.
But you sound really
you sound great.
Yeah. You
Thanks,
sound so
everybody. I
great.
appreciate
That mic has taken like 10 years off you.
No, let's not get ridiculous around here.
But what I was going to say is, even if the parks are at like 20K in the park, if you have to drop down ride capacity, like cut it in half or more because they have to sanitize it, I mean, is it worth it? That's the question. Is it worth it for anybody? You're still paying those park prices.
Yeah.
I don't know. You're probably not going to get a nighttime show. You're probably not going to get parades.
Well,
and I think you're going to get 9 to 6, I think, because I think they're going to want to do cleaning all through the night. You know, like for the first time ever, you know, New York City is starting to do subway cleaning overnight. And
It's so disturbing. It's so disturbing.
I'm so sorry for them.
You know what I was thinking about this? It's going to be funny because imagine like 10 years from now, what if we look back to pre-corona and go, oh my gosh, like we weren't cleaning anything back in the day. Like we were so gross.
Yep.
We're already noticing that.
Yeah.
I just came across a video of the now 5-year-old when we were down there for his first birthday eating in Ohana, and he saw Mickey, and he's basically just has Mickey's nose in his mouth, which then I was like, this is gross. Now I'm like, oh my God, this is horrible.
Yeah.
That was so bad. Yeah.
And by the way, say goodbye to toppings bars.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Like at least for a while.
I really like pickles at Cosmic Rays.
Yeah.
Should be family style everywhere. That's not quick service. Yeah. If the buffet's gone and you can get family style at like Cape May Cafe and
yeah.
And
Jeff is saying, Jeff's been saying a lot. Sorry, Jeff, I've been falling behind. But, you know, even with a ride like Frozen Ever After, he waited 45 minutes winding through the interior of the building, no space. How do you space people out even just on the lines? And even if you do the virtual, I mean, you still call back a certain number of people and, you know, you're still on a line for a little bit at least.
Yeah. They're going to have to mark every single queue off, like 6 feet spots. Like basically, if you can think about like Test Track when they put you in the pre-show area, they've got the circles where they tell 4 people to stand on a circle that's big enough for one.
Yeah.
It's going to be that, but it's going to be like 6 feet apart, and then they're going to make a family of 4 stand on a circle. But it's going to have to be for everything. Like honestly, how else do you do it?
Yep.
Yeah.
And Lewis is saying definitely couldn't imagine taking a child to the parks with absolutely like you, well, and you're expecting them to wear a mask, and then like one of the options, you know, like come on, like
you know those kids that are in the parks anyways are like not asleep; they're passed out because they're like
dehydrated
from dehydration and heat exhaustion. So like. It's going to be really bad. This is actually good for Florida residents who have passes.
Is it though?
No, but
I can go.
Let me say it. I just want to go.
So I heard this was on the old WDW Today cast has actually started doing a live show,
Okay.
and a weekly live show, and they were talking about this and saying that what they might start doing is just have resort guests. Like they're not going to open all the resorts, but it'll just be resort guests that are allowed to go because it's people that they could track and test and control. And that's how they start phase 1, which would make a lot more sense than having people driving in and.
Let's get a reservation.
Well, that's the next thing is like, I guess we're getting a reservation because Sam's making us go.
Yeah.
No, I'm not.
Get your DVC now.
Yeah.
I need someone to tell me to stop, but I think that I've already had the virus, so I'm immune. Maybe.
I think they're saying that doesn't matter, or they don't know if that.
They don't know. Yeah. Jeff, never apologize for the essay. We very much appreciate your participation. Also, Mama Dillo is watching. She is one of the viewers. So everyone say hello to Mama Dillo.
Oh, we have a caller. It is Long Island Frank.
Yes, Long Island Frank.
Long Island Frank, what is up, sir? How you doing?
Hi, can everyone hear me?
We can hear you.
Hi, Long Island Frank.
Hey, hi everyone.
Hi.
How y'all doing in quarantine and self-isolation? Everyone good?
Long Island Frank, where is your accent?
Yeah, come on.
Present appropriately.
I spent 2 months in Atlanta for work, so I say y'all like it's
Oh, come on.
You've adopted it.
Come on.
2 months.
2 months.
I think it's funny saying I spent 2 years in Orlando and got rid of mine, and people are like, okay.
And we still get water.
Yeah, water.
Hell yeah.
Water.
Coffee.
So I need to talk about our little NSYNC Backstreet Boys.
Oh.
Good, because Long Island Frank, Mama Dillo is watching, so be careful what you say about the Backstreet Boys.
Oh, what is that recap begin? Jen, you got to recap real quick before Long Island Frank jumps in.
I don't even know where it begins. Because for Follow Friday, it was the first Follow Friday in May, so I did It's Gonna Be May, and then I was like, you know what? I'm gonna try to find funny May things for gifts along the way. And there happened to be a Backstreet Boys one as well, As Long As You Love May. So then that started the boy band battle on our Twitter. So, yes. Go ahead,
Long Island Frank.
So there's some history behind there, and there's a couple of factors of why NSYNC is better than Backstreet Boys. So when I was young, so this was all around the time, maybe 6th, 7th, 8th grade, right?
For you,
I guess. For some of us, Long Island Frank. That's
I was collecting Social Security already. I don't know what the problem is.
There was this kid in school. I'm not going to say his name; it's irrelevant to the story. So we're going to call him. We'll call him Boba Fett, right?
Boba Fett.
So Boba Fett was, Mr. Popular in school, but very mean, kind of a bully. I got bullied when I was younger. I was a short kid. I was quiet, the whole thing. So Halloween party one year. That was the year that I don't even know what song it is because it doesn't matter because it's Backstreet Boys. But they did that music video where it was kind of like Halloween night.
Oh yeah,
everybody.
Yeah,
rock your body,
sure.
Everybody.
It's Frank's favorite song.
It was a Halloween party, and they were playing that song or the music video. I don't remember which one it was. And Boba Fett was like doing the dance to it because he loved Backstreet Boys.
Oh.
So never again did I like Backstreet Boys because of that.
Okay. Well, that makes sense. But now I'm picturing Boba Fett doing that dance, and it's amazing.
Right? I feel like that's true. So, and if you look at NSYNC, let's look at everyone from NSYNC, right? You got Lance Bass had some spotlight, right? He hosted a few things.
Mm-hmm.
Joey Fatone, My Big Fat Greek Wedding, My Big Fat Greek Wedding 2.
The fat one.
Some other things. And then
Orlando native or resident, I should say.
What have the Backstreet Boys done? Nothing. They've reunited. Great. Good for them. So
I will say Justin Timberlake is like one of those guys. He's on another plane of existence. He's like so talented. The dude he's funny. He can sing. He can dance. He's a Tennessee fan. We're good.
When they stopped going to this no Oscar host thing, they missed the boat by not having Timberlake host one time.
I think so too.
That's true.
Yeah. I'm giving you Timberlake.
Well, if you give me Timberlake, you got to give me NSYNC.
I don't think so, because the sum of the parts is greater than the whole when you're talking about Backstreet Boys. They don't have one star. They are the Backstreet Boys.
I have to say it. I have to tell you guys, Justin had the Justin Timberlake hair in high school at one point.
We'll need a throwback Thursday on that.
Yeah, we're gonna need a picture.
So actually, that was after high school. In high school, I had Eminem hair. Thank you very much.
We need all the pictures, just all of them.
Right?
Yeah.
I don't know if I have them, but yeah.
Matt says pictures or it didn't happen. My senior picture is like buzzed hair but bleached blonde. So that was my the Eminem look.
Yeah,
I
he
think
Nice.
stubble.
The real Slim Shady.
Mm-hmm. I think 3 of us in this room, including on the call, need to post our senior year photos for our 20th anniversary, guys. Come on.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Oh,
Yeah.
That's not me, by the way.
No, that's not. It's not old man Frank or young man Frank either. So it's neither.
I actually don't have senior pictures.
We could probably find though a picture of you from senior year.
If
I'm sure we
someone has
have.
a yearbook,
yearbook?
Yeah, we've got yearbooks.
I don't have.
Sam cut photo day.
Actually, I did go see. So, okay, Long Island Frank. Here's a good story. I had my last day of high school, very last day of high school,
We
to
all
go
did.
with my friend to Atlanta, Georgia, to see NSYNC.
To see NSYNC. That's right. You.
Mhm.
There you go.
And
That's funny.
studio opened, and
Oh.
his song was the thong song.
Yeah.
And every
dress for
parent,
Oh, was that his song?
yeah. Well, at the time,
Shaking that thing like who's the ish?
so
Living the vida loca. She drug.
shut up. I'm talking.
I'm taking you there.
Taking it
Ready
south.
to dance.
I think I sing it again.
Yeah.
So it was funny because he starts singing, and there's these ladies who come out with their shorty shorts on, and their thongs are hanging out, and all of these mamas start walking their kids out of the auditorium. And me and my friend Mel are like, "We're 18. This is awesome!"
Yeah, Matt. Matt saying, "Let me see that thong."
Mhm.
Oh, God.
He's on board.
There you go.
Love it.
That sounds like an amazing concert.
I also was a metalhead in high school, and so my friend Mel won these tickets off the internet, and she begged me, or no, excuse me, the radio, and she begged me to go with her, and I was like, fine, I'll go, and I acted like I was too cool for a really long time. Oh, and Pink opened. It was Pink,
Ooh.
Cisco, and then NSYNC. And then
Strong.
NSYNC came out, and we were on the floor, and they like lifted the stage up a little, and it came out to the middle
Ooh, that's
of where
cool.
everyone was sitting, and they were right beside us, and I was like, oh my God!
I would have been
Freaking
screaming.
out, wearing my black makeup and acting like nobody cares but me, you know? And I was screaming at them.
I want to know, Long Island Frank, have you seen NSYNC in concert?
I have not.
Well,
have
how can
not.
you claim to be a fan? This invalidates
Well-
your whole argument.
I've only seen like 2 concerts in my life: Metallica and Motley Crue, and that was it.
Oh,
Oh.
Interesting.
Long
Strong.
Island Frank does not name Billy Joel as one of the 2.
Yeah.
I'm
What?
shocked.
We're,
I can't get tickets. And when is the farewell tour over? I never know.
it doesn't matter. Did you grow up here?
Of course I did. I listen to him. It's, you know, I use the money for Disney instead. Boom.
What about
Alright.
Springsteen?
enough.
You a Springsteen guy?
No,
Yeah,
No,
me
no.
neither.
not much.
I'm just
No.
wondering.
Oh, that reminded me of a good Papadillo story, which Long Island Frank will appreciate when he said, I spend the money on Disney anyway. So I don't know if you know this. Mom and Papadillo have been discussing redoing a room in the house we both had as our bedroom. Like you moved up and then I moved over to it and whatever. And I'm like, oh, really? That's nice because the carpeting hasn't changed since Frankie was a baby. So that's great that you're just now changing it why? And then, and so Papadillo goes, no, you're right. I'll give you that. We probably should have done something to that room when you moved in there. I was like, whoa, this is an amazing statement. I no longer need to go to therapy after this because I think that solves it. And he goes, all right. But what would you rather? You went to Disney, didn't you? You went to Disney every year. So what would you rather? You want to go to Disney or you want a new room? And I was like, I don't know. Maybe I'll take it to Twitter and I'll see whatever goes good. See what everybody thinks. I'm like, good, I will.
See what all you little pods think.
All you little pods. Yeah, exactly.
I highly recommend still going to therapy.
Well, after this whole conversation where he gets to go out during 6th grade lunch,
right?
Maybe.
Wait a minute. It's the most comfortable carpet to lay down and take a nap on in the whole house. It doesn't matter what year it is.
Yeah, I was going to say there's not much carpeting left in the house.
Well, now it is.
Long Island Frank says his earpiece battery's dying. So, do you have any parting thoughts before you cut out, Frank?
I will leave you with one thought, and that is that Justin and Brittany should be together, and they will be together. Hope. And if you don't agree, then you don't believe in love, and you are soulless. Did you? Good. You should be insulted because it did happen.
You and Jen are best friends now forever.
We are so best friends, Long Island Frank.
Oh, I'm on board. That's a good take.
Yeah.
I don't agree. I guess I'm heartless and soulless.
No.
Which makes sense.
I mean, maybe not current Brittany because, but
that any of it worked. I think it was just like Jennifer Aniston and Brad Pitt. Like, okay, they're supposed to be together because they're pretty, but really doesn't make you compatible.
Yeah, well. All right. Good talking to you, Long Island Frank. Have a good night.
Long Island Frank.
Thanks, Long Island Frank.
Good night, everybody. Thank you.
Bye.
That was fun.
Jeff is saying, NSYNC, Backstreet Boys heading 2021 Garden Rocks.
Yeah, I think it means headlining.
Oh.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Headlining. Sorry. Heading. Right. Oh, headline. I can't read.
Interesting. That would be, I would be all over that.
In your defense, it says headling, but.
Okay.
Oh, you misspelled Jeff.
No, I'm on the Backstreet Boys team. Team Backstreet. Backstreet's back. All right.
Armadillo will appreciate
I had in 1998, I had dinner at the California Grill. We went out to watch the fireworks. There was no fireworks because it was grad night in the Magic Kingdom, and Backstreet Boys were playing the grad night. That is what made me a Backstreet Boys.
Old.
Everything starts with in 1998.
Because it's not like it was grad night for you, which was what makes you old.
No.
Right.
Correct.
You were already
it was not
old.
my grad night. No.
Right.
No. Still the favorite though. I have a follow-up. May the 4th be with you question for everyone. Is Star Tours still better than Smuggler's Run?
What? No.
This is a good question. What do you think, Sam?
Why is that a good question? No. I mean, Smuggler's Run still is not fun being in the very back, but Star Tours kind of makes you nauseous. So, and Smuggler's Run didn't make me nauseous.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
It's fair. It's a good argument.
Oh, wait. Justin's actually conflicted.
I'm not conflicted. I have an answer.
Oh, okay. Do it.
Okay. Jen, did you want to go first?
No, go ahead, please. See, no, I don't. Come on.
Okay. So, one of my big arguments against Soarin' is that it's so dependent on where you sit in order for it to be a good ride.
Oh, shut up already.
And Smuggler's Run has that, but also you have to have a good crew to get the most out of it. It's best. Now, Smuggler's Run with 5 friends or 5 family members is amazing. It's such a good experience. But you go single rider and have 2 toddlers piloting and then just screaming teenagers in there, it's a terrible experience. Star Tours is consistent every single time, and it's rewritable. They can adapt it. They change it all the time. I mean, Smuggler's Run's rewritable too because you can
get there. Yeah.
But Star Tours is still strong. It's not just, I don't think it's a wash right here. I just don't. I don't think Smuggler's Run's head and shoulders above Star Tours.
Jeff just said 100%. Of course, I've only been engineer, so I only saw buttons. Buttons we will never press again.
That's so true. We can't touch anything anymore.
Seriously, just have Clorox wipes around your hand. I guess I don't know.
Hondo Onaka is going to be like, These are pilot gloves.
So, the pre-show for Smuggler's Run is better than Star Tours.
Well, the pre-show for Star Tours has C-3PO and R2-D2.
Okay, whatever. I know that, but it's still not as good. Like,
And DJ Rex coming out of a box in storage in Star Tours.
blah blah blah.
DJ Rex in the house.
No, I really enjoy Smuggler's Run because of the whole experience combined, but Star Tours just is still that nostalgic, so it's hard to. I feel the pull sometimes towards Star Tours. Justin, you did not watch The Rise of Skywalker last night.
I did,
right?
but I wanted.
Oh, you did.
I want to hear Jen's opinion on the.
Oh, Jen, yeah.
Oh, my opinion. Oh no, I
We
don't.
need it.
I don't know that I have an opinion.
You do. Go ahead.
I mean, I think Smugglers, because of the experience of it all, because you're going on the Falcon, so that has a whole other thing to it.
Mm-hmm.
But I agree with the points of, you can go on Star Tours every time, you know what you're getting, it's a good ride. Sometimes the scenes change. They have evolved it over the years, all of that. Whereas, I don't know that I fully knew what was going on after especially after the first time writing it, as you're an engineer in the back and you're like, what? Wait, what? What's happening? Where are we? And I wasn't fully in the story to know what was happening. I couldn't always hear what was happening, all of that. So there is a piece taken away when you're actually in it. So I do agree with those points. But because of the ambiance and the experience of it all, it has something that Star Tours doesn't have, I guess. So to sum up, I don't know.
really, to be honest, Smuggler's Run, like I've had like, I'm gonna say 3 fantastic experiences on Smuggler's Run. I've had 3 or more very crappy experiences on Smuggler's Run. But those 3 fantastic ones will like live in my memory and in my heart forever. One of them was riding with you and the kids the first time when the kids were the pilots, and that was so fun and we had a great time.
Yeah.
One was riding with Landon and Frank when Landon and Frank were the pilots, and that was like a memory that I cherish and I'll never forget. And the other was me getting to pilot with Garrett. Like that was huge. That was so cool to pilot the Falcon with my son was so cool. Right. And I'll always remember that.
And you didn't get to go on with me, so I get why, I'm not.
I haven't gotten to, but Jen, you would complete the set. It would be awesome. So there will be a 4th, and it will be
right. Sure.
But
like, what am I doing? I don't know.
Like, I don't know. Like Lewis says, Star Tours gets repetitive, and I would expect Lewis to say that because he's probably ridden it 80 times in a day. If you did that with Smuggler's Run, it would get repetitive. Anyway, I'm off my. Really, I'm trying to be a counterpoint. Obviously, Smuggler's Run is like that's such a cool experience. I just think Star Tours, no matter what seat you're in, it's a consistently fun ride. It's a good time.
So, are we going to talk about Justin watching Rise of Skywalker?
You know what?
Because if we're doing it, I'd like to preface this first.
Uh-oh.
Justin sat last night on the couch and he watched this movie with a pen and notepad in front of him.
I did.
That's not called watching a movie. That's called taking notes. And I'm watching him do this and he's overanalyzing every single moment of the movie. And I'm enjoying the movie and he's like, oh, take a note here. And the whole time I'm trying to watch the movie, I'm thinking, well, what's he writing down about that? That was fun, So I would like to just say that this has been overanalyzed thoroughly by him. Thoroughly.
Excellent.
I mean, I wouldn't really expect anything less, though.
Frank asked me to watch and be prepared to speak to this tonight. And so I did. And here's the thing. My notes were not analyzing like, well, I wonder why they chose to use this sound clip. And that's not what I was doing. I was like,
what's going on?
I'll tell you what I was doing. I was trying to come up with some sort of a measurable reason why when I watched that movie the first time, I left going, I don't care to see it ever again. And I wanted to know why. So what I was doing was, as a scene would happen, I would write down, blah, 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 didn't like this. And then something would happen. I'd go, blah, blah, blah. I liked this. This was good. Really enjoyed it. So now here's the thing. After watching it the second time, it definitely improved. The second viewing improved. But I will say,
Still overanalyzing it.
what do fans do? What do people who are passionate about do?
Just enjoy. That's what you should do.
If you want to be a filthy cash, fine. Just sit and enjoy and don't give a crap about something that you love so much.
Oh my God.
Anyway.
No, hit me. Give me some of your favorite hates. What'd you hate on?
I don't, and this started with The Last Jedi, but I don't like playing fast and loose with force powers. Like that kind of drives me crazy. And it almost irritates me that I knew when we saw in The Mandalorian force healing, I knew it was going to come back up.
Yeah, that's why they put it in early.
Exactly.
They dropped that episode early, right? Yeah.
Exactly. That episode came out right before The Rise of Skywalker, and I was like, there's a reason they're doing this. Yeah, I didn't. That's not true. Being a podcaster / writer does not take the fun out of things. I can enjoy things. I enjoy
Listen,
a lot of things.
I have an MFA in dramaturgy, and that like sucked my life away for many years to be this critical. It's true. When I did, because that's all I did was analyze and criticize things. And criticism can be both good and bad, everyone.
I would be doing this if I wasn't podcasting, Lewis. Okay,
He has to drop it. He has to drop the MFA.
MFA.
I have a BFA. Whatever.
It's a buffet.
Yeah.
Phoebe Buffet. So I don't like that. I did not like. I didn't like Han showing back up because Han. I mean, I know it was just a memory. It was just a dream, but that was bull crap. It was unearned. That made me mad. The whole bait and switch with Chewie getting blown up but not getting blown up still made me mad. It made me mad again this time because you don't touch a hair on Chewie's head. Like honestly, if he had been killed in that scene, I probably would not watch this movie ever again.
Well, I didn't buy into it either because you saw him in the trailers and doing other things in the movie. So I was like, what is this? And when I watched it last night, there was a lot. There was three, and I'm not going to remember the third one. Like kind of like the bait and switch thing, which was Rey's like, here, Leia, I don't want the lightsaber. But 5 minutes later, I'm going to take it back.
Yeah.
And then Chewbacca, oh, this is what happens to you. Yeah. But no, 5 minutes later, this, and then there's one more like that. That I'm like, Lando's like, I'm done flying, but I'm going to come back flying. Yeah. It's like, there's so many of that. I'm like, what? It's unnecessary.
The sacrifice, the quote unquote sacrifice of C-3PO made me mad again.
Because that was another one. Yeah.
Because they don't care. Mm-hmm. They do not care. He's literally saying, R2-D2's memories are faulty. This probably won't work. I'm taking one last look at my friends, and they're like, all right, well, see you, dude. And they just like,
what's the odds? You would know better. And he said, you're right. Like, let's do this.
Right. He made a sacrifice. His choice was, we have to do this. C-3PO made the sacrifice. They didn't care at all.
I'm so glad I'm not like this level of fandom. I really like it. I think it's fun.
Drunk Stormtrooper just came into the chat on YouTube over here. So just in time for our Star Wars talk.
What's up, Drunk Stormtrooper? Of course, we're over time. You're late, Drunk Stormtrooper. This was supposed to be over by now.
What?
But anyway, all in all, oh my God, Lewis just said, in caps with exclamation points, he is a machine. All right. We can't talk anymore.
You have set just enough for the night.
Can't talk anymore.
It might be time to go.
Right.
R2-D2 and C-3PO were the through line for the whole series.
I mean, they did wipe his memory at the end of Revenge of the Sith too. So
yeah, this is like a totally this is different. Like a memory wipe is one thing, and the thing about it is that wasn't done by his friends. People like that was like, we're gonna wipe his memory. It's no big deal. Come on, and they're just like, come on, it's off. We don't like you anyway, 3PO.
Yeah, I mean, when watching it last night, because it was interesting because I feel like I've been finding, especially learning more about it. And Justin, I talked a little bit with this offline with you about like the novelization. I've been listening to podcasts, who've been talking about the novel and things like that. And they're like, they feel like they're trying to fill in so many gaps that people have complaints about. And it's like, this is, so similar to like how the Clone Wars are helping to repair the prequels. It's like, this is not the way to go about it, to find out what went wrong with our main presentations and how can we fill it in with our other products here. Right. But it's interesting because like everything I come up with like to be positive about, I'm like, am I just defending it because like I listened to it like this last night on my laptop and I was like, wow, the sound design is excellent. There's so many things in the background sound wise that really support what's happening. And like, this is not a thing. That's not the main thing. I need the character. What's going on with the characters? But I feel like we differ on the Han thing. And I think mainly that's just because, the lack of availability of Carrie Fisher prompted that Han scene. Right. And but for me, the movie takes off from there, from Han's scene to the end. I think it's fantastic. I really like how they closed it out. I don't know. It gets me every time, kind of. I really enjoy Poe and Finn and Rey. I don't think they're done. I think there's going to be other stories to tell with them. So that's fine. I really like all three of those characters, but I also think people who are like angry about how Finn's lack of character development was, I think we're going to see that rounded out somewhere else in the universe. Oh yeah. And I don't think that's the way to do it.
Yeah. Oh, so the lack of development of Finn, but also the sidelining of Rose drove me crazy in this movie too, because I thought she was a good character in Last Jedi. Chill Will's asking, so how do you address those issues? Don't just stress them at all. So I don't know. I think the way that this here's what I think happened. I'm gonna bottom line it for you.
Oh my God.
I am gonna bottom line this thing for you. They never should have had different people or had the idea to have different people write and direct the three movies. That was a bad idea. And when they decided to bring Abrams back and he decided to walk back things that Rian Johnson had done, it's a mess. You've got a mess on your hands. And it should have just been a consistent writer all the way through. And you could change up directors because the directing thing, like they did that with Harry Potter and it turned out fine.
Right.
But writing, at least have a consistent writer through the three who could be there, like a consistent thread, because there were things that were set up that were never paid off. And there were things that like wrapped up that you feel like were unearned, in my opinion. And I did not need the Rey Kylo kiss. I just didn't need it. I didn't think that was necessary. I don't know. So anyway, bottom line, here's it is hindsight, but that's the thing. I can criticize what they did. I didn't think it was a great idea to begin with. The way that Filoni would have been great for the three. Yes, I agree with Lewis. Filoni would have been awesome for this. But end of the day, he wants to know how come I can't move forward when it messes up. Well, I do, because I can move on and say that this movie wasn't necessarily for me. I still love a lot of the Star Wars movies, and this one wasn't my favorite, and that's how I move on.
Yeah, I mean it's not top. It's not top four for sure. I probably will fluctuate with that middle of the grouping forever, but there's a lot more that I love, and I think they're just little Abrams touches. But the movie as a whole, there's so much extraneous stuff in it that is not necessary for me. Like I think I'll watch the last 45 minutes of that movie forever. And the other big thing was that the two times I saw it in the theater, like the Emperor thing really didn't do it for me, and so for some reason I felt better about watching it in a small screen. And I was like, I don't know why this is okay for me now. I don't know if I was just hearing lines or something like that, that everything stuck with me a little bit more. And I didn't have as much of a problem with it this time.
Yeah. My last thing I'm going to say, it's still a Star Wars. I love Star Wars movies. The only reason I'm ranting and raving about it is because this is one of my most passionate loves in the world, aside from Sam.
Oh,
about time.
It's a good way to close it out.
And Drunk Stormtrooper says he did need that kiss. So
he needed
I'm
the
not sure.
Are you talking about Frank kissing you?
That's what I was really thinking.
That's not what we're talking about.
No.
by the way, Matt says that Rogue One is the best Star Wars movie, and I completely agree. And there's one big reason why. No, there's a couple, but the biggest reason why is because Donnie Yen is in that movie, and he is my favorite kung fu master of all time. I love him. Actually, not of all time, but pretty freaking close. So he's a good kung fu guy. Yes, and Ip Man does rule.
Ip Man is very good.
I love Ip Man.
Yeah.
I love there's.
If you love the kung fu, you got to watch Ip Man.
Yeah, there's 3, I believe. Hopefully, I'm right, but I've watched all 3. Very, very good.
Yeah. I'm done. I'm hot and sweaty now, guys.
I want to watch Ip Man and Rogue One.
Yeah.
I appreciated Lewis just being like, I'm just gonna make this comment.
Exactly. He's just throwing a grenade, Lewis.
Yeah.
I'm gonna hang out with Lewis and Val a lot, just so we can talk about how silly you're being about this.
By the way, Adam's streak is over. He did not call in tonight.
That's right. He didn't show up. He's gonna hear about it tomorrow.
Oh, Adam.
Yeah. Oh, Adam.
Oh no, I didn't mean.
It's about
This has been a lot of fun, and thank you guys for participating with us tonight.
Yes.
Yeah.
And thank you for getting my blood pressure up.
Checking to see you're still alive in quarantine.
I still feel.
Jeff, Drunk Stormtrooper, Momadillo, and whoever else checked us out on YouTube. Thank you to you as well.
Yeah.
Until next time. Oh, what are we doing? Are we doing plugs? You guys going to go first? We want to go first?
We'll knock ours out real quick. You can find us on Monday mornings, the Monday Morning Monorail podcast on all of your favorite podcast dispensaries, and also join the Monday Morning Monorail fam on Facebook. We have an awesome
graphics
logo created by Matt from Love and the Mouse podcast, and we're having a good time over there. So join us.
Cool. This week on Theme Park Thursday with Dillo's Diz, we will have part 2 of our conversation with the Diz and That crew, who stream on YouTube every Wednesday night at 9. So a lot of more around the horn kind of conversations, favorite parks, favorite resorts, favorite meals, that kind of thing. We got more of their background in part 1. So we're doing a little more Disney deep dive this week on part 2. And we got the social medias of at Dillo's Diz on Twitter, Instagram. You can like us on Facebook, but we're almost at 5,000 followers on TikTok.
Woo! Insane.
Thanks, everybody.
In the membrane.
Yeah. All right. So until next time, good to see you guys.
Yeah, good to see you all. We'll see you next Tuesday.
Bye, guys.
Bye. Bye-bye.